Okay, we lost space in the phone, so I'm resurrecting where we're at. So I'm going to talk about celebrating. So celebrating is just essentially saying your marker word when he does things that you want on his own without us influencing him. So if you get in a habit of petting with a purpose, which is when you want to pet him or he's demanding a petting, you tell him to sit or lie down. If he prepays, you pay him for that for sure. Or when he sits or comes or does any activity you want, you say your marker word and then pet him. And eventually, once he's done it enough, if you can predict that he's going to do it, then you could say your marker word or say your command cue, and then he does the action, then you say your marker word, and then he gets the treat, and after a while, you just drop the marker word. Remember to not reach for your treat or hold your treat out before you're paying him. So if you let's say sit, don't do that. So have a treat here, sit. When he sits, then mark yes, and then we give him the treat. Otherwise, we can influence him a little bit. The hand targeting, practice that on walks. And the other tricks that you know, every once in a while, stop on a walk and ask him to do some different tricks. Make sure there's not other dogs or confined or crazy number of bees on the ground. And so the idea is every once in a while we just make it unusual. He just stop and I do this weird stuff and I get rewarded for doing it. Walks are a little bit more interesting. I'm paying more attention to my humans. When you're on a walk, every time he looks at you, say yes and give him that treat. After a while, he'll be like walking, running into stuff, looking up at you because it's rewarding to give you that attention. Let me see, we also talked about the importance of rules and structure. So he has actually a good number of rules. But I would add some more, like he's not allowed to be around 7 feet around anybody who's eating, not allowed to be in the kitchen where we're preparing food. If you're eating food here, a snack here, and he comes up to you, throw a treat on the dog bed. As soon as he vacates, throw another one on the dog bed, throw another one. It might take 30 or 40 treats, but eventually he'll stay on the dog bed and then wait 5 seconds and throw a treat. Then 10 seconds and throw him a treat. And these are arbitrary numbers. It might be 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Go at his pace, down at our pace. But the idea is, why would I go to them when the food is falling from the sky over here? And there's stuff we can work on to build on that if you want to. Let me see, we also talked about pre-max. Pre-max means a less desirable behavior earns me a more desirable behavior. So if I want to get on the couch, I have to sit and then they invite me on the couch. If he jumps on the couch and you throw a treat over there, aren't we rewarding him for getting on the couch? No, we're rewarding him for getting over here to get the treat because that's where he gets it. So when we throw the treat, when he steps on the dog bed, we'd say yes, and then he gets the reinforcement afterwards. And every time he comes back, so every time I go to the couch, instead of getting a correction, there's a better motivation for me to go over here. Let me see, we also talked about exercise. Sniff walks, playing tug of war, and giving the timeouts during tug of war frequently, helping him calm himself down. Don't let him go above 50% on his energy range, 50%. Always gets a treat out. And what I do is I try to stop the activity, give him treats, ask him to do some hand targets, some other stuff. Make it a fun activity. Don't like just, oh, you're a buzzkill, you're stopping me from doing my fun. Yeah, we're gonna stop that fun. We're gonna do some other fun that requires a little bit more control and help you calm down. Once you calm down, then we go back to playing tug of war or whatever it is. We can also play fetch, and that's another great way to burn energy. Remember, exercising him before you go to the dog park is going to produce a better experience at the dog park. You could exercise him before a walk. That'll produce a much better experience. Exercising him before you have a client come over, before you're going to create a masterpiece or whatever it is a great way to set him up for success. So there's physical exercise. There's also mental stimulation. Now, a sniff walk kind of walks both paths. I'm walking, but I'm also sniffing. We went over Cookie in the Corner. That was the game where we said, find it, we throw one treat, and I say yes every time he licks up, then we throw 2 treats, and I work up to about 7 treats, and eventually you say, find it, and he's like, holy cow, there's 5 or 6 treats there, and he's sniffing his nose, using his nose to find it. Using the nose is very draining of energy. Feeding out of a snuffle mat, we're using a lick mat right here. He would be barking like crazy, he's licking the lick mat. So we have a lick mat loaded up with peanut butter, ready to go. I would usually just use smooth peanut butter instead of what you're using here. This is fine. Also, don't get the designer peanut butter. This isn't designer peanut butter, is it? Okay. Designer xylitol is poison to dogs, and it's in a lot of the higher end peanut butter, so it's XYZ, I think is how it starts off. So don't get anything with xylitol in it because we don't want to obviously hurt him. But having one of those ready to go, so exercising him and having the client meet him outside, then walking around the block with the client, then bring him back inside. He's already been exercising, got 10 minutes to recover his breath, and then we went outside and met the client. The client walked around the block and gave us a bunch of treats. Then we came inside, and then I get a bully stick or a lick mat full of peanut butter. I'm just content sitting over here while my guardian is doing her business at her desk, or he's doing his business, and the dog is content. I also left a lick mat and Omega Pod Tricky Trainer treat ball. Get a snuffle mat, feed half of his meal on a snuffle mat, the other half out of that. But I'd probably get a couple other toys as well. Different sort of balls I like because they roll differently, but there's different types of puzzle toys where it's harder. I avoid the ones where you slide stuff or knock stuff over because dogs figure that out in 5 seconds. They come over and just and then lick up all the treats. We want something that's a little bit more interactive. Let me see what else. Trying to think what else. I think that's just about it. Is there anything else you guys want me to cover?
I don't think so. I think that covers it.
Okay. Now, you're going to make mistakes. I guarantee it. When you make mistakes, just check yourself. You start petting on top of his head. Oh, shoot, I'm supposed to do it. Just slide your head underneath. Oh, what a good boy. Oh, just say your marker word and don't say any other words. Let that word sit out there by itself. And that's going to be probably one of the harder things for you guys to not say good boy or good dog or you're such a smart dog. But the vocabulary is something they drown in. So try to say your marker word and have about 5 seconds of silence before you say anything else so it really sticks out and he can identify that. It'll accelerate his learning, and that acceleration will make him feel a little bit more comfortable and confident. The counter conditioning exercise will also help. The desensitization portion of it will help as well. But the exercise before that will also set them up for success. And I think the medication, again, nobody wants to put their dogs on medication. But if it, in his case, if it could diminish that and help him not practice not barking so much while we work on all the other stuff, you're gonna make faster progress. And it takes a month to kick in. Maybe he's on it for a month or two. Maybe by the end of the summer, we are feeling much better. We got clients coming, he's not barking. Then we gradually start. It takes 66 days for a new behavior pattern to start. So we need about a month for the meds to kick in. Make sure you check with your vet because they might need to adjust those meds up and down in terms of the dosage based on size and metabolism, all that. Once you find that right dosage, we'd like him to be on it for about 3 months while we practice this other stuff. And then message me if you have any questions about it. I can hook you up with veterinary behaviors to do teleconsulting, but they're a little bit expensive because, again, there are not very many of them. And right now during Corona, it's been a bit of a demand. All right, well, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I've got thousands of free training videos. I want to help you. I will be mad at you if you have a problem or a question you don't ask me because I cannot help you if you don't ask me. Text me, please, instead of emailing me. I get about 150 to 200 emails a day. I want my clients to go to the front of the line and they text me and then I'll get a response back. It'll help you send me a picture of Bear and just a quick reminder because I obviously got a lot of clients, but I want you to be there. I want to be there for you. Can we pick up the camera and just tilt down and show the big B dog? That's Bear.
There he is.
I'm David, and this is Bear's Roadmap to Success. Remember, when it comes to dog, remember, everything you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it.